12% battery. Let's see how this goes. Hi friends, long time no see. I have been away, physically away. I was in Alabama for a couple of months doing a production of The Wiz, and I've discovered that it is very hard to tape YouTube videos while in rehearsals and tech and then in the show. I probably could have done it while I was in the show, but I prioritized actually reading the books, which I didn't even read that much, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm planning on having a very good reading month in April now that I'm back in the city and very gainfully unemployed. So we're here today for, oh, don't worry, I got it. Don't worry, I got it. Oh, it's gonna, okay, yes. So we're here today for this very realistic April TBR. Yeah, I don't know what that was. April TBR. Anyways, okay. We're gonna start off with a book that I finished already, but it's April 2nd and I finished it yesterday, so she counts. She counts. 1 down, 5 to go. There's 6 books on this TBR. I'm not gonna be crazy and say I'm gonna read 15 books. Am I behind on my yearly reading goal? Yes, Storygraph says I have to read 9 books to catch up. I'm going to try to read more than this pile, but we're going to be realistic because we did not have a good Q1 reading situation. We were doing the show and feeling feels and yeah. Anyways, okay, here we go. Luna was whining, sorry. Okay, so first book is my bestie book club pick of, I think it was technically March's pick, but I finished it April 1st, so here she is. Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. I wonder if I should, do I hold it? I wonder how long this Vanna White thing is gonna last. Okay. I already finished her. This is a thriller, revenge mystery thriller, I would say. The mysterious part, no, it's definitely, maybe a true crime thriller. Yes, I would categorize her as a true crime thriller because it's definitely giving me like full Law and Order SVU vibes. I was reading it and every time I flipped to a new chapter, I heard the dum dum, and that was kind of what was getting me through. That way I could keep going and not get stressed out because this book stressed me out. I did a review for it on my TikTok. If you do not follow me there, yeah, maybe check me out. I do post on TikTok way more than I post on YouTube. Gonna get better about that. But yep, so here's first book, done. Check. Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. I could read something plot-wise. One dark evening on New York City's Upper West Side, 2 strangers meet by chance. There's 2 women in the book that the story focuses around. They both had tragic things happen to them and they're trying to get revenge and justice for these tragic things, and the story ensues. If you like true crime, if you like SVU, if you like those documentaries where people are murdered, I can't say murdered. If you like the documentaries where folks are unalived, it's a little violent. I would say trigger warnings because I did not get enough of those. We have grief, loss of a child, references to assault and other violence. So if none of those things are, and they aren't super explicit, I would say probably like a milder moderate. The loss and the grief is huge, and panic attacks, mental illness, also triggers for these. Those are more of the moderate, like one character really struggles with that. I would definitely say if those things are triggers for you, probably skip her. Next up, because I definitely need something happy, although this is actually not happy so far, I also started this book. This is the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. It's a translated work. I'm working through the Anti-Rot Challenge and finally got to my translated read by Takuya Asakura. And sorry if that was terrible Japanese. I did used to live there, but I mean, if it's not gomenasai, yeah, I don't know. Translated by Yuka Maino. And this is not only a beautiful, beautiful cover, I've really enjoyed reading it outside amongst the cherry blossoms, because cherry blossoms are probably one of my, I had to think about it, but cherry blossoms are probably one of my favorite flowers. I do love them because they are here and they're gone, and you have to appreciate their beauty for such a brief moment in time in beautiful weather before the pollen and everything else starts to plague you. All the bad things of spring, I feel like, happen after cherry blossoms, but the cherry blossoms are so beautiful and so fleeting that I really wanted to pick this up and add her to my collection. And so far, it's a little sad. I wanted something happy after my thriller adventure, but it's a little sad. It's a little reflective. But I think that there's going to be a lot of great messages. There is a mention in the first couple pages of The Little Prince, which I also have. So I don't know if this counts because it's like a kid's book and it's tiny, but I think I will also read The Little Prince in tandem with this. I'm sure there will be other books that come up, and so I will probably try to read those as they come up in the story. I got this from a really fun bookshop in the Upper East Side called Albertine. It's a French, I think it's the French consulate, and there's just a bookshop inside. It's beautiful. And I think the person who wrote this, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, terrible. French people, don't come for me in the comments. Maybe, parlez-vous no français? But he wrote the book like a couple of, maybe not a couple of blocks, like probably like 20 blocks, but like a good little, he wrote the book close to where I live. I've walked past where the book is written, and there's a little monument there, which I think is super cute. So this and this will be in my spring reading vlog coming soon. Definitely look out for her. Did I just add another book? I mean, dude, it's a kid's book. Calm your life. As beautiful as this is, it's giving beauty, but not necessarily happy. So I don't know if I'm going to read this next, but in the same vein, we have the Baby Dragon Café. This is also on my anti-rot challenge. It's written by an author who's Southeast Asian or South Asian, but not Indian. I have to check the prompt. I'll put it up here just in case. I'll figure out where's the author from? Is it gonna tell me? It can just be specific and not have to group people. Beep. Aha! What? Huh. Okay, I don't really know if I have this categorized in the right section of my anti-rot challenge. I will have to make an edit for that because it looks like A.T. Qureshi is a Pakistani Muslim American who adores words. So, I don't know what category I had her in, but I need to make sure I categorize her. Categorize. That sounds bad. I don't know why that sounds bad. Need to make sure I label this appropriately for my challenge. But the point is, this is, I'm hoping, a really cute, cozy fantasy. That's probably one of my favorite genres. Whenever I need something to lighten and lift my heart, I go cozy fantasy all times of the year, not just in the fall. And a little fun plug for the nerds. Saphira is the name of the main character. It's not a little blue dragon, but if you recall from the Inheritance trilogy, why can't I talk today? If you recall from the Inheritance trilogy days, Saphira was Aragon's dragon, and it kind of got me into my whole dragon era. Excited about her. The back. Welcome to the cutest and most complicated cafe in town. When Saphira opens her cafe for customers with pet baby dragons. She isn't expecting it to be quite so hard to keep the fires burning. Ha, lol, pun. But her young dragon patrons keep incinerating the furniture, which means selling coffee isn't covering her costs. Local heartthrob Aiden is a gardener, though his disobedient baby dragon is a major distraction from his beloved plants. However, Saphira's Café gives him an idea. He'll ask Saphira to train his dragon and pay her enough to keep the cafe afloat. Sounds cute. Next up is a book I've had on my shelf for a long time, and I literally just pulled it off the shelf because it's giving spring color vibes. It's also giving Bridgerton vibes, but we've already seen Bridgerton season 5, and I didn't actually mind it. I love a Cinderella story, so. Was it better than Kate's season? No. Was it better than Queen Charlotte? No. But it was better than the... I know people love the Penelope season. I love Penelope. That season was just... Colin was not giving for me. Anyways, back to the book. This is the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, written by India Holton, an author based in the UK. Also meets one of my challenge prompts. A prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. Oh! I will read it with a British accent the whole time. Sorry, not sorry. Do we want the back? Do we want the back? Cecilia Bassingwaith, whoa, that's a name, is the ideal Victorian lady. She's also a thief, like the other members of the Wisteria Society crime sorority. Oh, cute! She flies around England drinking tea, blackmailing friends, and acquiring treasure by interesting means. I do love acquiring with a little 5-finger discount. I see you, Cecilia. Sure, she has a dark and traumatic past and an overbearing aunt, but all things considered, it's a pleasant existence. Until the men show up. Where have we seen this before? I don't know, life. Everything is a lovely, pleasurable existence until the men show up. Next up, we have my first Kennedy Ryan book. I have thought about starting with Before I Let Go in the Skyland series, and I'll tell you why I didn't. We'll put this down for a moment. Mostly because it's a second chance romance series, and I'm just now getting into contemporary romance. That was not my bag. If the romance was not in fantasy, I didn't want to read it. But now that I've stuck my toe in, I read Sweet Heat back in February. I really enjoyed that. So I'm hoping that that gave me a nice little palate awakener for Miss Kennedy Ryan. I thought that Real, which is this book, would be a little bit more up my alley because in terms of like realistic contemporary fiction, if it doesn't really apply to my life, it's probably terrible to say. But if it doesn't really apply to my life, I find I have a hard time relating to the main characters. If I don't really understand their life or can't like picture myself like playing that character, actor brain, my brain just goes like, meh, or I think it's unbelievable, or I kind of just like flip through and like don't care as much, which isn't great either. But this book, Real, is like my life. And so I'm hoping that it actually is my life and that there's a happy ending. The second book comes out in May. It's called Score. So I'm hoping that I'll finish this. I'll read this towards the end of the month so I can read it right before Score comes out. But very excited about her because it's about an actor on Broadway who was a cover. Who else do we know fits that description? Meh. Neva Saint is ready for the spotlight after months as an understudy. This is her night to shine. She never imagined he would watch in the audience. Canon Holt, famous film director, fascinating. That's a lot of F's. Famous film director, fascinating, talented, boing. And shit. Before she can catch her breath, everything is changing. Neva goes from backstage Broadway to center stage Hollywood, from being unknown to having her name on everyone's lips when Canon casts her in a star-studded Harlem Renaissance biopic. Anybody is casting a Harlem Renaissance biopic and needs a new face. Okay, shameless plug over. So I'm very excited about this. I'm gonna save her till the end of the month because I do think I'm really going to enjoy this. And she's thick too, so, ooh, apple. Oh, wait a minute, hold up now. There's an apple cobbler recipe in the back. I love that. We'll obviously be making this. If you did not see TikTok mentioned again, I read, words are hard. I read As You Wish, a cozy fantasy by an indie author named Danica Brown, and in that book there was a mention of these apple pie cookies, and I made them. There was not a recipe there. I just like looked one up and I made them, and they were delicious. So I'm excited now that my apple baking skills are getting better. Yeah, I feel like this is about to be good. So I will read this and make it and maybe put it in a little vlog. Isn't this cute? The necklace says a novel. Like, how fresh. Okay. Okay, last but certainly not least, because this is probably the book I'm most excited about. Cleopatra, a novel. It is a new release. I think it came out oh, the asp. I'm like, why is there a snake? I hate snakes. I should have seen that coming. 2026. I think it came out in February. Doesn't matter. It came out maybe a couple months ago. And I'm very excited about this because, one, I love Cleopatra. I love Egyptology, Egyptian mythology. I even have this. Is this embarrassing to pull this out? Probably. Do you guys remember these? And these little, oh wow, I'm gonna date myself here. The back says Wizardology in stores fall 2005. Okay, we'll take a peruse through this when it's Cleopatra time. But I love Egyptian mythology. I love Egyptian history. I think it's fascinating. I love the Prince of Egypt. Slightly related. No, related. Ramses II was a real dude. Moses. Okay. And so I'm really excited about this because it is a, I guess, historical fiction, fantastical retelling. Cleopatra tells her own story in this evocative and sensuous historical epic from the best-selling and award-winning author of Feybound and The Final Strife. I have not read either of those series. Truthfully, because I was off YA for a while, I think I'm feeling a little dilly-dabble. I'm feeling a pull back towards YA land. But for a while I was like, I'm grown. Stop reading about kids. So I wasn't. And so I have not read, let me know if Feybound is an adult fantasy or YA as well. I know Ending Fire is supposedly YA. But if this is great, I'll probably read all the other things that she's written. And I hear that she's a fantastic author. And this cover is just beautiful. It's cushing. I'm also thinking of, just in the vein of getting more nonfiction and more information into my brain, I'm gonna also spend a little time doing some old school research on Cleopatra, maybe pick up a biography or some sort of nonfiction work about her life. Maybe do a little comparative contrasty moment, a little Venn diagram situation. I don't know what these hand motions are, but I'm thinking I'll do a little bit of like deep dive into her life, a little personal curriculum, if you will, on Cleopatra, and I will let you guys know all the cool things I learn and if I enjoy this book. So a lot to read in April, but so far off to a great start. One done, halfway through another one, and I am excited to have a good reading month. Let me know what you are reading in the comments below, what I should be adding to my TBR this month or next month. And as always, if you like what you see, follow, subscribe, go watch me on TikTok or whatever folks do with their phones these days. Okay. I did it. Shameless plug over. Have a beautiful, what day is it? Have a beautiful week. enjoy the time with your loved ones and your families, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Maybe a crew trime?